Hello, Dazzle. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I'm glad that you are here. Today, I want to explore the theological and mythological elements in Dark Souls, examining how they contribute to the game's narrative complexity and thematic depth. By analyzing the game's characters, lore, and narrative structure, we can uncover the profound allegories and parallels that make Dark Souls a compelling exploration of myth and theology. Dark Souls, developed by From Software, is renowned for its deep and intricate lore, which draws heavily from various theological and mythological traditions. The game's narrative and world building are rich with allegories and parallel that echo ancient myths, religious doctrines, and philosophical concepts. At the heart of Dark Souls mythology is the dichotomy between the Age of Fire and the Age of Dark, symbolizing creation and destruction, light and darkness, order and chaos. The first flame, an enigmatic source of light and life, emerges in the game's universe, giving birth to powerful beings known as the Lords. Gwen, the Lord of Sunlight, along with the witch Izalith, Nito, the first of the dead, and the furtive pygmy, gains immense power from the flame. This moment can be seen as a creation myth, akin to various mythological narratives where a divine fire or cosmic event brings forth gods and the world. The first flame represents the divine spark of creation, similar to the Greek myth of Prometheus bringing fire to humanity, or the Norse myth of the world emerging from the fire of Muspelheim and the ice of Nephilim, which I'm sure I didn't say right, but I put them on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. The narrative of Dark Souls mirrors the theological concept of the fall of the gods and the transient nature of divine authority. Gwen's sacrifice to prolong the Age of Fire and prevent the onset of the Dark Age reflects a desperate attempt to stave off the inevitable decline of his era. This act parallels the Promethean myth, where Prometheus defies Zeus to give humanity fire, symbolizing knowledge and enlightenment. However, in Dark Souls, the prolongation of the Age of Fire leads to the eventual decay and hollowing of the world, indicating the futility of resisting the natural order. The cycle of the Age of Fire and the Age of Dark echoes the Hindu concept of the cyclic nature of time, or the yagas, and the Norse belief of Ragnarok, where the world undergoes cycles of creation, destruction, and rebirth. Gwen, the central figure among the Lords, embodies the archetype of the dying and reviving god, a common motif in many mythologies. His sacrifice to link the first flame parallels the narrative of gods who die and are reborn, such as Osiris in the Egyptian mythology or Dionysus in Greek mythology. Gwen's eventual hollowing and transformation into the Lord of Cinder reflect the concept of the deity who loses their divinity, becoming a shadow of their former self. This transformation also parallels the Christian narrative of Lucifer, a once divine being who falls from grace. Gwen's struggle against the encroaching darkness can be seen as a metaphor for the battle between good and evil, light and dark, a theme prevalent in many religious traditions. The Witch of Izalith's attempt to recreate the first flame, resulting in the birth of the Chaos Flame and the demons, parallels myths of creation gone awry. This act of hubris mirrors the myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, and the story of Pandora, whose curiosity unleashed evils upon the world. The Chaos Flame symbolizes uncontrolled power and the destructive potential of creation without restraint. The demons born from this flame are akin to fallen angels or demonic beings in various mythologies, representing the consequences of divine hubris. The witch's transformation into the bed of chaos, a mindless entity, echoes the loss of identity and purpose, a recurring theme in both myth and theology. Nito, embodying death and decay, parallels gods of the underworld like Hades in Greek mythology or Anubis in Egyptian mythology. Nito's role as the keeper of the dead and the bringer of disease and pestilence aligns with the concept of a god who governs the afterlife and the transition between life and death. His association with the necromancy and the reanimation of the dead highlights the theme of death as a natural part of the cycle of existence. Nito's existence existence in the tomb of the giants, a place shrouded in darkness, symbolizes the inevitability of death and the unknown that lies beyond it. The furtive pygmy, the ancestor of humanity, discovers the dark soul, representing the hidden and untapped potential of humanity. This parallels the concept of the divine spark within humans, akin to the Gnostic belief in the divine essence trapped within the material world. The dark soul's fragmentation and dissemination among humanity symbolizes the inherent darkness within the human condition, reflecting themes of original sin and the potential for both good and evil. The duality of light and dark within humans mirrors the Zoroastrian concept of the struggle between Ahura Mazda, or good, and Agra Manyo, evil, within the soul of every individual. The undead curse in Dark Souls, where humans are doomed to continually resurrect after death, parallels the Buddhist concept of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The curse, a symbol of existential suffering, reflects the idea of being trapped in an endless cycle of reincarnation, unable to achieve nirvana or liberation. The process of hollowing, where individuals lose their sense of self or purpose, resonates with the concept of spiritual decay and the loss of identity. This theme is reminiscent of the existential notion of the absurd, where life's repetitiveness and the lack of inherent meaning lead to despair and nihilism. Bonfires in the Dark Soul serve as points of respite and resurrection, symbolizing hope and warmth in a dark and unforgiving world. They can be seen as sacred altars or shrines, places where players can regain their strength and reflect on their journey. The act of kindling bonfires, which involves sacrificing humanity, parallels religious rituals of sacrifice and renewal. This can be linked to the Christian practice of communion or the Hindu practice of offerings to deities, symbolizing a connection to a higher power and the sustenance of life. The bonfires as sources of light and darkness also represent the pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment in a world filled with ignorance and chaos. The protagonist's journey in Dark Souls, often referred to as the Chosen Undead Pilgrimage, mirrors the archetypal hero's journey found in mythological narratives. The quest for souls, as a central mechanic in the game, symbolizes the accumulation of knowledge, experience, and spiritual power. This journey can be compared to the myth of the hero seeking the elixir of immortality or divine wisdom, such as the journey of Gilgamesh or the labors of Hercules. The souls collected by the player serve as a metaphor for spiritual growth and the pursuit of transcendence. The journey through the diverse and dangerous world of Lordran reflects the trials and tribulations faced by heroes in myth as they seek to overcome their limitations and achieve greatness. The Lord Vessel, a key artifact in the game, represents the culmination of the player's journey and the potential for divine ascension. It serves as a gateway to the kiln of the first flame, where the player can choose to link the fire or let it fade. This decision reflects the dualistic nature of many religious and philosophical beliefs, where individuals must choose between sustaining the world order or embracing its end. The act of linking the fire can be seen as a metaphor for self-sacrifice and the acceptance of responsibility, akin to the Christ-like figure of sacrificing for the salvation of humanity. Conversely, allowing the fire to fade symbolizes the acceptance of entropy and the natural order of decay, reflecting themes of fatalism and the acceptance of the end. The Covenant system in Dark Souls offers players the opportunity to align with various factions, each with its own beliefs and practices. This system parallels religious sects and denominations, where followers adhere to specific doctrines and rituals. Covenants, like the Way of White, which emphasizes healing and protection, reflect organized religions focused on salvation and community. The Dark Wraiths, who seek to steal humanity, symbolize a more nihilistic or heretical worldview, akin to cults or dark religions. The choice of Covenant reflects the player's alignment and philosophical stance, offering a microcosm of religious diversity and conflict within the game's world. Several NPCs in Dark Souls serve as symbolic representation of theological and mythological figures. For example, Solaire of Astora, with his unwavering faith in the sun, parallels figures like Icarus, who seeks the divine light, or even Christ as a beacon of hope and sacrifice. The crestfallen warrior embodies existential despair and the dangers of hollowing, reflecting the concept of spiritual emptiness. A character like Gwendolyn, who guards the illusions of Andor Londo, symbolize the nature of divine deception and the manipulation of faith. These NPCs, through their actions and fates, provide a commentary on various aspects of faith, belief, and the human condition. Dark Souls is a rich tapestry of theological allegories and mythological parallels, offering players a profound exploration of creation, divinity, and the human condition. Through its complex narrative, symbolic characters, and intricate world building, the game invites players to reflect on themes of life, death, and the eternal struggle between light and dark. The theological and mythological elements woven into the fabric of Dark Souls not only enhance its narrative depth, but also provide a platform for philosophical discourse. By drawing from a wide array of religious and mythological traditions, Dark Souls transcends in medium, becoming a modern myth that challenges players to confront the mysteries of existence and the nature of the divine. Well, that's about it for my rambling today. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me. If you like my rambling, then click on that like button. It really does help. And until we talk again, you guys be sure to take care of yourselves. Bye!